Welcome back to Jim Pattison Volvo of North Vancouver. My name is Nelson Phillips, and today we have our 2020 Volvo XC90. So for 2020, we're seeing some exciting changes, a facelifted model that's now going to see some improvements to both the exterior and interior styling. So let's now go through and take a look at those together. With the Inscription trim level, we're going to get that classic chrome grille, now seeing just more of a concave look with a little bit more chrome and a refreshed Volvo logo. Also some beautiful chrome accents along the side. Improved styling for both the 20 and the 21-inch alloys available on the Inscription. Once again, that signature chrome clodding along the side of the vehicle. And then we'll also see some increased chrome just along the back of the vehicle as well, making it noticeably the 2020 model. Now using the foot motion tailgate, we have very easy access to the back. This is what it shows what it's like with the third row folded up. So still a fairly usable trunk space, but let's go through a little bit more of how these configurations look when folded up and down. So the first thing you'll notice when you get into the back of the XC90 is you get a little bit of space that they give you underneath the flooring here, as well as the charging cable that's going to be included specifically with the T8 hybrid vehicles. With the option of the air suspension, you'll also have these two buttons back here. That now allows you to load the vehicle, so you'll notice just when your arms are fully extended, you'll actually just be able to load things in without actually even having to bend your arms. Really convenient feature to have. Folding down the third row is as easy as just a flick of a switch. You'll also once again get our flat folding seats there, so making a really even loading surface. Also having a completely flat folding second row just gives you even more versatility, making the XC90 the most versatile Volvo that we offer. Accessing the third row is something so easy that even your kids will be able to do it. So we just pull from this lever, slide the seat forward, and from there, we just hop in. So now that we're in the third row of the XC90, as someone who's almost 6 feet tall, you'll see that I still have a little bit of headroom here. Legroom is comfortable. It's definitely going to be a little bit more ideal for kids and for shorter distance drives. But I find that the real advantage of the XC90 is that you get a 7-passenger vehicle that's actually a fairly comfortable size if you're just driving around yourself most of the time, but then you still have the option of sitting 7 people in the vehicle for when you need it. So now from the second row of the XC90, we're gonna have quite a bit more comfort and adjustment. So first off, we're gonna be able to recline the seats a little bit. You're also gonna be able to slide the seat forward and back. So quite a bit of adjustment back here. We're also just gonna have a really nice, comfortable armrest with our Inscription-specific sunshades, which just give you a really private and comfortable place to hang out. So welcome to the cockpit in the 2020 XC90. So a few of the differences that we're gonna now see for our 2020 models are gonna be the option of having our slate leather interior, just a little bit of a brighter interior option compared to the charcoal. We're also now going to have a new inlay option for the 2020s, as well as our 6-passenger seating configuration. So making it really accessible if you want to have 2 car seats on the outside, but still make it accessible for kids to get into that third row. So that's going to be a really nice addition you're going to want to check out. So Volvo's perspective on our infotainment system is now going to be to give you all the functionality you'd expect from a luxury vehicle, but to be in a much more easily controllable format. So you'll first off see that you've got your navigation on the top, which is now expandable, and then will show on the center display, which always gives the driver the main focus on that. You'll have the music, which loads on the second bar with a few ways to stay connected there. And then you'll be able to pair up your phone on this third bar and also choose a few different functions of what you'd like to have in that last bar. You can choose to have the weather, see what your fuel efficiency is, and you'll also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard features. You'll notice that the climate controls always stay on the bottom here. So all you'll have to do is just tap on the temperature, drag up or down, or use the plus and the minuses just to be able to control the temperature that way. You'll also now have your section at the body, so you just simply click on the section that you want the air to blow onto and adjust the fan speed. So a very intuitive approach to infotainment systems, which just allow you to stay that much more focused on the road ahead of you. So you'll have some really nice controls when you enter the XC90. The first is going to be this twist dial, which will now just start the engine. In the hybrid, it's going to be completely silent, so you won't even hear anything. You'll also have the drive mode select, which is located just behind the start-stop. And then you'll also now have this beautiful crystal gear lever, which is now going to give you just the control to shift, but just a really nice interior touch to give you a more premium feel. So as we start driving here, let's just go through a few of the main things that kind of make an XC90 an XC90 if you haven't been familiar with one before. So the XC90 is going to offer you 3 different engine options. The first engine option is going to be the T5 engine. So from that, you're going to be getting a total of 250 horsepower. The next is the T6 engine. So the T6 is going to be by far the most popular engine with the XC90. It just really delivers a very smooth delivery of power, but also a very fuel efficient vehicle for a vehicle of this size, averaging only 10.6 liters combined per 100 kilometers. Next is going to be the T8 engine option. That's the vehicle that we're driving today, which now gives you a boost of up to 400 horsepower, as well as it now being a hybrid vehicle as well. So the real main benefits of Volvo's hybrid technology is that for shorter distance driving, you can now use the vehicle as a purely electric car. But now, when you've run out of that electric range, you still have a full tank of gasoline to take you further than you would be able to go on a limited electrical charge range. So I find it just makes a vehicle that gives you way more versatility for day-to-day use. If you're driving shorter distances between work and home, you're never going to have to use gasoline. But then now if you want to do trips and longer distance drives during the winter, you've got a vehicle that just can take you past those charging stations where you're not limited by that electric capacity. So Volvo's Intel Safe system, which is now going to be monitoring and paying attention for any possible accidents that you could be getting into, is going to be a standard technology on any XC90. So the advantage of Volvo's system is they're not just relying on a camera-based system. We use the addition of using not only a camera, but an infrared laser and a radar system that all work with each other to make much more accurate calculations than you'd be able to make by only using one or a variety of those technologies. And so now the vehicle can respond to both other vehicles on the road, large animals, pedestrians, and cyclists to first give you a warning before the car would actually apply the brakes to avoid the accident altogether. A really nice system, and just something that you wouldn't even know that the vehicle has until you actually get into a scenario where the car actually applies the brakes or gives you a warning and saves you from something pretty bad happening. So now that we're driving the T8, there's going to be a few extra drive modes that you're going to get in this that you wouldn't get in any of the gasoline variants. So first off, we're now going to be in the hybrid mode. This is going to be the default mode that the vehicle is automatically going to turn into every time that you get into the car. It's going to prioritize your electric engine to give you the majority of the power, only until you require more power than that electric engine can provide, and that's when you'll feel the gasoline engine kick in to give you that extra boost in power. Once you've used that extra boost in power, it goes back to using the electric engine only. So just making it very efficient for day-to-day use, but you still have that extra power for when you really need it. Next, you're going to have your pure drive mode. So the pure drive mode is now going to give you an even greater amount of electrical power available to you, but just going to be a little bit more of a delay for the gasoline engine to kick in. Where this is really going to be handy though, is just if you are just trying to get the best efficiency that you can possibly get out of the vehicle. I have customers who have these vehicles, they're averaging about 2.8 liters per 100 kilometers when driving in the pure mode and using the regenerative braking, which we'll talk about in just a second. Okay, so you're gonna have to excuse my smile as we go into the power drive mode, because this is where things get really fun. And now you're gonna get a total of 400 horsepower and 473 foot-pounds of torque. So if you just really like a responsive and torquey feeling vehicle, you're really gonna enjoy this power drive mode. In the Inscription model for the XC90, we're gonna get some really nice touches here. So a few things you'll notice immediately after getting into the vehicle is that beautiful stitched leather dashboard, our nice open wood inlays, and then also sitting in the seats. I've had people that have looked at every car on the market and have come back to look at Volvo just because of these seats. So definitely come in to just try out the seats if anything. The advantage of the Inscription seats, and just all Volvo seats actually, is they're all going to be designed by chiropractors. So they spend 7 years ergonomically designing the shape of each seat before they even put it into a vehicle. The main reason for this is going to just be because of the safety. If you're ever involved in an accident, you want your back to be in a very well protected and properly braced position. So something that most people really grow to love is going to be this adaptive cruise control and pilot assist feature. So what this does is it allows you to just set your cruise control to whatever speed you want to be traveling, but if the traffic is moving a little bit slower than what you're doing, the car is just going to adjust the gas and the brakes for you without you even having to put your foot on the brake or the gas. You'll also see that it's going to pick up the lane markings on each side, so it'll now be able to keep us centered in our lane. Just a really nice feature to have if you're doing longer distance drives or sitting in traffic pretty often. Having the graphical heads-up display is also a really nice thing to have. It just allows you to see the speed that you're currently traveling, also the roadside information, and as soon as you set the navigation, we'll also show you your next direction up there as well. So you'll see that the display is going to look a little bit different in the hybrid than it's going to look in any of our gasoline engines. So you'll notice this little blue bar in where you'd normally see the RPM meter. What the blue bar is showing is how much electric power you have available. So as long as you're pushing the gas pedal in or underneath where that blue bar ends, it's only going to be using electric power. It's only when you push the gas pedal past that you'll now feel the gasoline engine kick in and give you that extra thrust of power that's required. So with how many rainy days we get here in Vancouver, this panoramic sunroof is just so nice because it allows so much more light to go inside the vehicle. I'd open up the roof, but I don't want to get our camera guy too wet today. So I hope you guys have liked the changes that we've made to our 2020 XC90s, but we still have a great selection of our 2019 XC90s with good incentives on all cash, lease, and finance purchases, as well as the 2020s that are now coming in as well. So if you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to let myself, Nelson Phillips, or any of our other product advisors know. Thanks again for watching.